What's the scariest thing you have found out about someone from your childhood, old friends, teachers, etc.? Old friend from school, elementary through high school. He ended up teaching in our old elementary school, was well known for visiting over 30 countries, going on scuba diving vacations, etc. He coached at our high school. He was single until 43, and recently married about 2 years ago to a woman with elementary-aged kids, and they had a baby. It seemed like he was one of the good ones. In May he pleaded guilty to possession of child porn, including at least one video portraying masochistic sexual conduct involving a child. He will be sentenced in December. Now all of those trips he took alone on summer and spring break are just nauseating. His many trips to Asia to dive. It's horrific.
Kid I went to elementary school with, his parents divorced and the dad was stalking the mom. She got a restraining order, so he hunted her down and shot her in the head while she was about to head in for work. He drove off, police followed him, and there was a confrontation which ended in the police shooting him. 2 kids under 14 lost both parents in a few hours. A boy in my primary school called Lucky ended up with permanent brain damage after his dad beat him up over the school holidays. He wasn't able to return to mainstream schooling, but I still saw him when his mom picked his sister up from school. She needed to swap to a van to accommodate his wheelchair.
When I was about 6, my family and I were getting up around 4:30 in the morning to go up to Utah to visit family. Out of nowhere, my stepdad tells us to wait in the car and goes into our neighbor's house. It was a duplex. I'd never really met the neighbors, but I remember my mom would get pissed if I went into their yard to climb this huge-ass pine tree. Anyway, stepdad is gone for maybe 10 minutes when the police pull up and go inside as well. After like 30 minutes they come out with my neighbor in cuffs and my stepdad is thanking them. He whispered something to my mom and then told my brothers and I that the neighbor got caught stealing or something, and we're like 3 to 6, so we just accept this. Found out when I was around 16 or 17 that the neighbor was loudly beating his wife. My stepdad heard, went over, the wife is unconscious, so my stepdad, who I forgot to mention, was this massive army dude who was super good at fighting, beat the bricks off of the husband, held him down and called the cops. It's one of my favorite stories to tell about him. Dude is a badass. My best friend's dad from elementary school was a rapist and murderer. It happened a year or so after I moved. My dad waited to tell me until the trial was over. Her dad got the death penalty.
Our Year 7, 6th grade U.S. English teacher hung himself. He had a crumbling spine and couldn't deal with it anymore. He was such an awesome teacher, always in good spirits even when you could visibly see pain in his face. Edit, while this boomed off. I appreciate all of the kind words and pray for all those suffering similarly.